What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Marc Guehi, because Liverpool are actively working on signing the very experienced centre-back from Crystal Palace for around 35 to 40 million pounds. Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Liverpool are still actively working on this transfer because Crystal Palace know that they have to sell him, otherwise they risk losing him for nothing. And Fabrizio Romano revealed on his YouTube channel that Liverpool also want to sign Marc Guehi, so that remains another focus for this crazy transfer window that Liverpool are having. And if we manage to sign Marc Guehi, that would be an almost perfect transfer window for Liverpool, and that would take Liverpool's summer spending to 300 million pounds. But because we sold so many players for big money, we also sold players worth around 150 to 200 million pounds. So actually our net spend right now at the moment is lower than Sunderland, and Liverpool are also in the process to selling Ben Doak to Bournemouth for around 25 million pounds, which could be a great deal as well. And the deal is done for Leone. He was unveiled yesterday at Liverpool, and also he watched his first game at Anfield, and what a game it was, an absolute blockbuster. This is why we love the Premier League and this is why we love football. The Liverpool-Bournemouth game was absolutely scintillating, spectacular, fabulous, really exciting. I reviewed the game in detail. It's in the previous video on my YouTube channel, so make sure to watch it if you haven't already. So let's follow the situation, Fabrizio Romano said, because Liverpool are working on signing Marc Guehi, and I think we need it, because you could see with Van Dijk and Konate how much they sometimes struggled with these fast breaks, these quick transitions, these counter-attacks. And I especially, before the second Bournemouth goal, I just watched it back, why is Joe Gomez and Waterwendo, two of our players furthest forward, who should be in the back five, back six, defending our goal? Liverpool are still 2-1 up, and Joe Gomez is overlapping, bombing forward, but Waterwendo and Curtis Jones also bursting into the box. And when Liverpool lose the ball after a loose pass by Salah, there is absolutely nobody, no midfielder back defending. So it's basically Robertson running back, but he's also pretty late. So Konate and Van Dijk had to defend against 4 Brentford attackers. So that is, I think, a structural organizational problem, which I think Liverpool will rectify. But if Konate or Van Dijk gets injured, then we can't rely on just Joe Gomez or Giovanni Leone, as good as Leone is. We can't expect him to be just dropped into the Premier League and perform at a level which is required to win the titles, because that's Liverpool's aim, to defend the Premier League title. Marc Guehi is more than good enough to deputize for either Van Dijk or Konate, so that's why this deal is crucial. The problem is that Crystal Palace are still hoping to sell Marc Guehi for around 45 to 50 million pounds, and Liverpool value Marc Guehi as just 35 to 40 million. So Liverpool don't want to pay Crystal Palace's valuation, but the closer we get to deadline day, I think the lower Crystal Palace's asking price will drop, because Crystal Palace know if they don't sell Guehi to anyone, then they will lose out on a lot of money. And yes, Crystal Palace are pretty rich. They are in the Conference League, even though they should be in the Europa League. But UEFA completely screwed them over with these ridiculous rules. I mean, they are letting RB Leipzig and Red Bull Salzburg play in the same competition, but they are not letting Lyon and Crystal Palace play in the same competition, which is absolute nonsense. UEFA is absolutely idiots for doing this, and I really feel sorry for the Crystal Palace fans. They will lose out on a lot of money not qualifying for the Europa League, so they need this money to get at least 40 million for Marc Guehi. And I absolutely sympathize with the Crystal Palace fans, but Liverpool also need a centre-back of Marc Guehi's caliber. And at the moment, until there is an official agreement, Crystal Palace will play Marc Guehi. They are expected to start him against Chelsea, because the first game is, I think, against Chelsea, and the manager said that Marc Guehi has trained the entire week with us, every single training session, so they have prepared the best way for the Chelsea game on Sunday. I've been in the football business for too long, so I know that at any time of any day things can happen, transfers can happen. If you ask me now, I expect both Marc Guehi and Eberechi Eze to start on Sunday, but Eze is, looked at by Arsenal and Tottenham as well, and Marc Guehi is looked at by Liverpool, mainly Liverpool. Newcastle also wanted him, and Chelsea as well, but Marc Guehi is absolutely crystal clear to any other club approaching him. He only wants to sign for Liverpool. My worry is if we don't manage to lower the Crystal Palace's asking price, and if we don't sign Marc Guehi, is it enough to have Joe Gomez and Leone as backups? Because you could see that even with Konate and Van Dijk, if Liverpool are not set up right, then Liverpool can be very vulnerable defensively. I hope that Arne Slot will sort it out, and this is just the early season rustiness and the structural problems that Liverpool have. Because, let's face it, Liverpool had 4 new players in the team, and we also have some issues, especially in defense. Conor Bradley is out injured. Gomez didn't train for 3.5 weeks. He was out injured, so he couldn't play 30 minutes. And that's the problem. Hopefully, Conor Bradley will be back fit soon. Hopefully Joe Gomez can improve his fitness. Hopefully Leone can be integrated into the squad as well. And then Liverpool's options will be much better. And I think Marc Guehi is even worth 40 million because he's a very experienced centre-back. He's also an England international. He played in the European Championship final for England, even though they lost that to Spain. Marc Guehi is absolutely brilliant, and he can play at right centre back, left centre back, and he is very good at passing and also dribbling out with the ball, carrying it forward. So I think he would be a very, very good addition, especially because Van Dijk is 34 years old, Joe Gomez is injury prone, Konate also sometimes needs a rest, and because Liverpool sold Kwanzaa to Leverkusen for pretty good money, Liverpool definitely need to sign another centre-back, I think. Because Gomez is injury prone and Leone is so young, he's 18 years old, we can't expect him, especially in the first half of the season, to flawlessly play in the Premier League when he's very inexperienced. He only played like half a season in the Serie A. That's all he has of top flight football, and the Serie A is a lot slower and a lot less physical. The good news is Leone is a very, very physical guy. He's very strong, so I think he will hold his own in the Premier League. But Liverpool definitely need options, especially in attack. It looks like Liverpool will play with Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez at the back, and Frimpong being allowed to bump forward. So I think Liverpool will need somebody like Marc Guehi to cover for a lot of players who love bombing forward. And when Liverpool lose the ball, Liverpool love to press very high up the pitch collectively, aiming to win the ball back immediately. And Guehi has a very strong physical base, and he is also willing to step up the field to apply pressure. So I think he's well equipped to play in Arne Slot's playing style. He's very good in ground duels, in aerial duels, and his ability to utilize his body and tackle with both feet are well known, and he's very, very physical as well, and he's very experienced, so he could straight away start for Liverpool next week if we wanted. He could start for Liverpool because he's that good. He could seamlessly slot into Slot's system, excuse the pun, but I just had to do it. And Peter O'Rourke is also reporting that Liverpool are reopening the Marc Guehi talks. I don't think we ever stopped those talks. We just wanted to be respectful to Crystal Palace and not talk about Marc Guehi straight before or during the Community Shield final. Peter O'Rourke said it's an ongoing situation, the Liverpool interest in Marc Guehi, and there have been more developments. The latest information is that today Liverpool have reopened talks with Crystal Palace to see if a deal can be done before the end of the transfer window. The two clubs are slightly apart in valuations. Liverpool think that Guehi should be cheaper than 40 million. Crystal Palace are holding out for 45 to 50 million. And of course they don't want to lose their captain and star defender on the cheap. They think he's worth more than 40 million. Yes, normally when he has 3-4 years left on his contract, normally he would be worth more than 40 million, but not right now when he has less than 1 year left on his contract. Liverpool are negotiating, trying to get that figure down to maybe around 30-35 million mark, and talks are ongoing between the two clubs. I think we should pay closer to 40 million because that is a fair value. And for a couple of million, like 3-4 million pounds, it's not worth it to miss out on this transfer, because I think signing Marc Guehi could be the difference between Liverpool winning the title or not winning the title. Because if we lose Konate or Van Dijk for an extended period of time, I still feel that we are short at the back. And Liverpool are also gearing up to launch a new bid for Alexander Isak as soon as Newcastle sign a couple of replacements. And by the way, Newcastle didn't include Alexander Isak in the squad. It was just revealed that their starting 11 will be Gordon, Barnes and Elanga up front. So Gordon, the left winger, will play as a striker and they will probably interchange, and Alexander Isak is not in the squad. So Newcastle are still standing firm, but I think as soon as the Johan Wissa transfer goes through, and that could go through early next week, then I think Newcastle will be more open to selling Alexander Isak. And the latest news is that Michael Edwards will fly to Boston to negotiate with FSG. I don't think that's needed, but the Michael Edwards, it looks like, will hold an emergency meeting in person with the Liverpool owners, because they need to not rubber stamp a new British transfer record for Alexander Isak, which could be worth 135 million pounds. At that mark, if Newcastle already have a replacement signed, I think Newcastle will do a deal. Alexander Isak told Eddie Howe that he wanted to leave, and that was 2 weeks before the end of the season. David Ornstein confirmed this. He also reiterated this in the final game of the season. In his mind, Alexander Isak thinks that he also told the Newcastle management team 1 year before that he wanted to leave at the end of last season. Newcastle denied this. I don't know who to believe, honestly. I mean, who knows what the truth is, but I think at the end of the season, definitely Alexander Isak told Newcastle that he wants to leave, and they just didn't respect his wishes, and they wanted to hang on to him. They just didn't think Alexander Isak would be going on strike, and that he would be this stubborn to absolutely destroy his reputation among the Newcastle fans. And I think Liverpool definitely need to sign Alexander Isak. Some people are saying, like, we are fine having Ekitike. Yes, that's great, but Ekitike is Liverpool's only striker. Do you expect him to play every game? I mean, he was already substituted twice in 2 games against Crystal Palace and against Bournemouth, and every time we substituted Ekitike, we couldn't bring on a striker. Once we brought on, I think it was Florian Wirtz who played as a false 9, and against Bournemouth as well. And we played Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz as 2 number 10s up front. We just couldn't substitute a striker for Ekitike. I mean, Chiesa can play there up front, but he doesn't have the physicality to play as a striker, to hold the ball up. And I think Liverpool definitely need a striker. And Ekitike can play with Isak together. Ekitike can play off the left and Isak can play up front. That's not a problem. Newcastle are also interested in Paris Saint-Germain's Gonzalo Ramos. That's the latest from Craig Hope. He's saying that Gonzalo Ramos is back on the agenda for Newcastle as they continue their search for strikers. I think he would be a very good striker for Newcastle, actually. He would be a fantastic signing. Problem is that PSG signed him for like 65 million pounds a couple of years ago, so they would definitely want at least that amount for him. But Newcastle bid 70 million for Ekitike, so they would definitely bid a lot for Gonzalo Ramos as well. And I think he would be a better option than just having Johan Wissa in the team. I think Gonzalo Ramos and Johan Wissa are 2 very, very good players who Newcastle could get. The big question is, would Gonzalo Ramos go from PSG to Newcastle? That would be a definitely step down, but because Newcastle are in the Champions League, that could be tempting for Gonzalo Ramos, and they can offer him pretty high wages. Maybe not as high as at PSG, because at PSG they are paying crazy wages to their players. Eddie also insists that it's Alexander Isak who controls if he plays for Newcastle before transfer deadline day or not. The door is open for Alexander Isak to come back into training and to come back to play, but he doesn't want to. He's on strike. He wants this Liverpool transfer to happen as soon as possible. That's Alexander Isak's stance. And Eddie Howe is just saying that his door is open to Alexander Isak. He can come back and train and play for Newcastle. He just doesn't want to. But he wants a Liverpool transfer, and until transfer deadline day in shots, that will be the case. But hopefully, by the time the transfer deadline is gone, Alexander Isak will be a Liverpool player, because I think we need a striker. We just can't go into the season with just Ekitike up front. And Florian Wirtz is not a striker, so he shouldn't play up front, especially not in the physical Premier League that is. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. This is just my opinion. I think Isak will be a Liverpool player by the time September the 1st rolls around. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.